Stephen King said in his book on writing that he writes the books that he wants to read. And for me, taking abstract photography is like painting the photos that I will never be able to paint. And I started to do this not so long ago. I'm still going through this journey and I have a lot to learn yet. But for this video, I want to share with you how I personally took those photos that you see today, what setting did I use, and in general, what I find in this style of photography. So first of all, I took those photos with the Ricoh GR3X. It's a 40mm focal length small compact camera. If you're following this channel, I'm sure you heard me talk about this camera a lot before. So what I was looking for was movement, a movement of people walking on the street, taking their bike, and I was lucky enough to see this little stage of people dancing on it, which was perfect for the photos that I wanted. And the reason that I was looking for movement is that I wanted to capture the light a few times in a frame. So I had to slower my shutter speed between 1 second to 3 seconds, which is a lot. It's a very slow shutter speed. And I didn't use a tripod for that. I hold my camera. I try to do it very steady. If you have a camera with stabilization on, it really helps. And there is a few method that I used to take those photos. The first one was to just stand in the place and hold the camera, try to do it very steady, and wait for the people to like do something interesting and move in front of the camera. The thing that was important for me is that the background of the scene, like the top of the frame and the bottom of the frame, will have a clear sense of what's happening, and not clear like super sharp, but people, when they see the photos, they will understand that this is the floor and this is the sky or the top or the windows, something that can verify them what they are looking at. The photos that I like the most is when you can understand immediately that you're looking. I'm sorry that I look here, I just see in the photo, it's much easier for me to talk about that. And so I see the photo and I immediately understand what I'm looking at. That's the main point that I want to make here. And this is the first method that I use. The second one is when I walked on the street and I took my camera, pointed to some subject like moving people, bicycle, whatever I saw, and I pressed the shutter button again for 1 to 3 seconds. My ISO I kept on 100 because of the noise that I got from the light himself, so I wanted to reduce that as much as possible. So anyway, the second method was that I walked on the street with the camera, pointing to someone, press the shutter button and walk with the camera at the same speed that the subject was moving. If I open my shutter speed to be 3 seconds, that's a lot. So no matter how accurate you will be capturing the movement of the subject, you'll still get a smudge of the light behind him. And another important thing is that I took raw files and not a JPEG, because I wanted as much like details that I can play with afterwards as possible, regarding especially to the colors, because I edit everything with my own Lightroom presets, which are, by the way, available in the description if you want to check this out. And I think that edit the color specifically on abstract photography gives it such a unique and special look to it that differentiates it from other photos. And when I looked at it unedited, or just try to slightly edit like I do on normal street photography, it was a little bit of boring, and I wanted to really emphasize the light and the colors. You know, there are a lot of blues and reds and like unique lines on the street that I want just pop on the screen and be like, wow, what's that? I need to take another second to look at that photo. Another thing that I personally did, I don't know if you have something like this at home, but I printed some of the photos. And the reason I'm telling you about the printing of the photos in this video is that after I edited the photos, I immediately wanted to print them. And it was so different from the rest of my street photography work, which I just like enjoyed a little bit, maybe uploaded to social media and then moved on to other photos. But in this case, those images, I felt like I felt something. I looked at them and I wanted to observe them like clearly. It was just an urge that I had, and printing the photos really helped me understand what I feel about every image. And by the way, if no matter what camera you're using, like the Ricoh GR3X has an okay battery life, and I have another extra 2 batteries, which I usually don't use when I do street photography, but when I do abstract photography, like not abstract, like slow shutter speed, so be aware that it takes lots more battery than your regular work. So the photos that I'm sharing with you today took at night, and I also took a day photos like this with a different camera, with the different settings, because I can't open my shutter speed that much to 3 seconds with a wide aperture in a day, because everything would just be flooded with light. So I will make another video on how I do it in a daytime, and I will show you the photos then. I just realized that I tried to make this video very technical, and the technical part is important if you want to try this, but the most important thing in my eyes is to really just try and do it and see how you feel about the images that you can that you come up with. And I believe that the story of the image and the story of the frame is something that's made up in our minds when we look at that kind of photos, because when you see like a clear and sharp photo of something on the street, then our brain figure out immediately what happened there, and we can tell ourselves a story. But when we see a frame that we really can't see with our eyes, like in a normal way of looking at things, then I know for me it's a totally different experience. And this is why I said that it's like painting the photos that I will never be able to paint, because there is only one photo in the world looking like that. And even if you give an AI trying to make this photo, it will never look the same. You can never accomplish the same result as before. This is a one moment of 3 seconds or whatever that you capture very uniquely in a way that will never be able to repeat itself. And capturing time like this, you capture 3 seconds of movement of people passing through. It just brings so much emotion to the frame, in my opinion. And even if I was good at painting, it will take me so much time to take one good painting versus a photo. I'm not comparing between taking photos and painting, but I'm just so happy with the amount of the result that I got when I did this specific walk. So I hope you will take your camera today and just try to experiment with slower shutter speed and abstract photography on the street. You don't have to do slower shutter speed. You can just take photos of different textures and stuff and experiment with whatever interests you. I really encourage you to do that, because it's really fun. So just go and try that. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you liked it. If you do, please like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you soon in the next video.